This is the KUSI News at 6:30.
Good evening and welcome to the KUSI News at 6:30. I'm Ross Becker in for Alan Denton.
And I'm Sandra Moss. Thank you for joining us.
8 U.S. sailors are suing a Tokyo utility company for more than $100 million. They claim the government-owned Tokyo Electric Power Company lied to them about the high levels of radiation in the area where they were carrying out a humanitarian mission. The sailors served on the San Diego-based aircraft carrier USS Ronald Reagan, which was ferrying food and water after Japan's March 2011 earthquake and tsunami. The sailors say they are now at risk for developing cancer and have a shorter life expectancy because the utility kept the radiation levels a secret. Russian President Vladimir Putin signed a controversial bill today banning Americans from adopting Russian children. The new law creates uncertainty for 46 American families who have already met prospective adoptees. The State Department, which helps facilitate foreign adoptions, hopes Russia will lift the ban altogether, but in the meantime is working to resolve pending adoptions. More than 60,000 Russian orphans have been adopted by Americans over the past 2 decades.
So what does this mean for parents who are wanting to adopt from Russia or who are almost finished with their ongoing adoption?
Yeah, it certainly is raising a lot of confusion. Immigration attorney Jacob Sapochick joins us tonight to talk about this and really what happens next. On the surface, this seems like punishment. It right. Really isn't in the best interest of the children, is it?
Absolutely not. And you know, this is just by way of background. The Russian passed the Yakovlev Act, and this is an act that they passed as a result of a death of a child, Dima Yakovlev, in the U.S. And they're saying that a lot of the U.S. parents are abusing their adoptive kids. As a result, they passed an act banning the adoptions. Well, we think it's an actual attempt to retaliate against Obama's bill that he passed in December 14, the Magnitsky bill, and they're banning some Russian officials who were involved in a tax fraud. So we feel that it's been, it's a retaliation, but they're using the kids to make a point because they know that, you know, the act itself also bans U.S. citizens coming to the U.S., but they know that if they use the kids, it's going to create a lot of noise. And you know, Russia has been a very good country for adoption. For the last 20 years, more than 60,000 kids. Just in the last year, 1,000. And so we feel that it's going to be a major impact on what's going to happen with the kids. We don't know yet what's going to happen to the pending cases. We're waiting for some guidance, but it's a major blow.
And it's really heartbreaking to the families involved here because many of these kids that are adopted from Russia are not in good shape. They're disabled, they've got mental problems, and yet there are families here in the United States who are willing to bring them to our country and to care for them and have them lead the best life they can.
Absolutely, and the amount of orphans in Russia is absolutely horrendous. So by having U.S. citizen parents who are willing to take them, is going to be a very major blow to the whole adoption process.
So is this done now since the Russians have passed this and that Putin has signed it? Is there no way to unring this bell and someday maybe get these Russian children with U.S. parents?
Sure. Well, we feel that this may be just kind of a heated moment in the Russian politics. We feel that hopefully in the next year or so there may be some changes. You know, in Russia, anything can happen. So as time goes on, we feel that there may be some changes with the pressure, and they're going to see that the amount of kids that are not able to be placed with adoptive parents are going to increase. They may change the regulations over there as well. But for now, it's very concerning.
And a lot has changed in the world in the last year. The re-election of President Obama, President Putin, the war in Syria that both countries are hoping to end. There's really a lot at stake here, isn't there? Exactly.
And then to me, it seems like a power game between the U.S. and Russia saying, well, now we're going to stop this. We know you need this, but we have we're going to say the last word. And we just feel that why use the kids?
And isn't this one of those situations where the President Obama, could pick up the phone and call Putin and say, why are you doing this? Why are you using the children as pawns in this? Let's work this out.
Exactly. And hopefully he will do it. You know, because you know, I tell you in my practice when we work with the parents, and we know a lot of adoptions, and I can see how the process becomes involved when they go visit and they come back and visit. What about those parents who already went there, saw a child, and now they want to start, and now they get this news just before New Year's Eve? Imagine the celebration. It's pretty bad.
Well, let's hope that this ends better. We'll be following this story.
Jacob Sapochick.
Thank you so much.
Immigration attorney, appreciate you coming in.
Thank you so much.
Well, 3 off.